Welcome back to another episode number 78 of the SwooshHoops Podcast. We got the whole crew back again for another episode. We got myself, Eric L, aka 8 and 6, three straight dubs, back on track. We got Armani, Nostradamus, Ernest, and we got Josh, aka Capture the Flag and Race for Ace 2025. So for this episode, we're gonna talk about the 76ers and their slow start at 2-11 and more drama as ensues, more injuries, and we got feuding and we got player meetings airing out of grievances. So we're gonna get into more depth of what's going on with the 76ers and how can they bounce back and get back into things.
You're late
We're
to
gonna
everything. Stop being late. Show up on time.
we're gonna discuss that in real time. The Cavaliers, who just lost tonight in their group play to the Boston Celtics, now 15-1. We're gonna talk about their hot start and how they can rebound from this loss. The NBA Cup. This is a week 2 of the NBA Cup series. A lot of intriguing games that happened in the last week and also tonight. And then we got Friday leading up to the meat and potatoes of the NBA Cup as group play goes into week 3. And last but not least, we're going to talk about the 3-point frenzy that's happening in the league and how it's affecting the ratings. Some say it's affecting the ratings. Ratings are down because too many players taking too many threes. We'll discuss that in more detail. But first, we're gonna talk. Let's start with one of the teams that was supposed to be a contender in the East, but is off to a slow start. The Philadelphia 76ers, who lost last night in Miami, and they are now 2-11. And it just came out of the news earlier today that they had a players only meeting last night, right after the game, and stuff was leaked out about what Tyrese Maxey, one of the stars of the Sixers, approaching Joel Embiid, telling him to be accountable for being late. You're the leader of this team, and you're the face of the franchise. And just paraphrasing. So, what are your thoughts on the slow start in the Sixers, and can they bounce back and get back into the thick of things in the East?
Well, I think they could bounce back, but I think they're gonna be like a playing team or lower, like maybe 6 seed, because being 9 games back from 500, that's a steep climb no matter what. Even if the East is weak and everybody thinks the East is weak, that's why I think they're gonna come back. But 9 games from 500, that's a lot. That's a lot, especially with Embiid not being able to play back-to-backs, and PG probably not going to play back-to-backs either, and then Maxey nursing an injury. It's just too much going on for you to come back 9 games from 500 like that. But I do think they could still push for the play-in and possibly a 6 seed in the East with the way that teams in the East are starting off this year. But this is not ideal for the Sixers at all. It's just the culture that has been set for the Sixers is sadly, it all starts with Hinkie. I know he's been long gone, but when you try to be as horrible of a franchise as they were for 2-3 years, they was trying to be that bad. It kind of sets the precedent. And when Embiid got drafted, they was still doing that bad tanking method, and Embiid
Trust the
learned.
process.
So yeah, you learn these players that you bring in with these high picks. they start to take on those bad habits of, oh, I don't have to play every day. Oh, I could mess up because we're trying to lose. And that's not the culture you want. So and now you're just starting to see it with Embiid being late to meetings, something as small as that, and it's affecting the team. So I not really shocked at it coming from Embiid. But hey man, there's a lot of scapegoating going on in Philly, and we've seen it since the Ben Simmons days, since all these years we've seen it, and now it's just blowing up in front of their face. And this is what you get for punting the season too. They punted the season last year. It was in the thick of things, and they punted the season because they was like, you know what, we could sign somebody. And the guy that they wanted to sign is a 35-year-old Paul George.
Which paid him $200 million.
You know,
and mind you, and also let's not forget the Sixers gave Embiid a 3-year extension, $190 million back in September,
Yep.
and they also extended Tyrese Maxey. So they basically on the books for over $400 million, and they're starting up 2-11.
And you know, I just want to say, like, people were laughing at the Clippers for not giving PG that contract, but who's laughing now?
It's a valid point. But I mean, in the Sixers defense, the Sixers was always looking for that third guy. You know what I mean? Especially
It was,
you know, losing Ben Simmons and losing Jimmy Butler, that not going according to plan. And then losing James Harden, and then you have the emergence of Tyrese Maxey. He had a wonderful season last year. So now you're just looking for a third guy because Tobias Harris wasn't cutting it for you. So now you get Paul George, who's way better, you know. But it's crazy because like his age and just his history of like injuries is just not so good. So it's kind of like a lose-lose in this situation.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I think, look, like what confuses me the most about this whole ordeal is why is it all leaking out now? Like, why are we getting people leaking out a players only meeting or team meeting, wherever it was, right? Why are we hearing about Nick Nurse and Joel Embiid not seeing eye to eye on how the offense is being ran? You know, and you got the report of stuff that happened with Embiid and Sixers suspending him 3 games, or actually, no, the NBA did. And last week on the show, I felt as if like the Sixers did wrong by Embiid by even having that guy back in the locker room, knowing that Embiid wasn't feeling this guy. It's just what baffles me the most that, like, I get it, like Embiid, cool, you're hurt, you can't play, right? You can't go back to backs and all that, but at the very least, be professional, like show up on time, you know, be on time for team meetings, be on time for all these things. You know what I'm saying? Like, or even like how yesterday, no one knew if you were playing or not until the last minute, which was like, you know, I get it. Like if you're upset at the organization, cool, that's understandable, right? To a certain degree. But you have to own some culpability in this as well. You know, like it's the Sixers gave you, they invested in you at the end of the day, regardless of the injuries and everything. So like you have to find out and figure out a better way to take care of your body.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And the best way possible. And your injuries could be just, you know, a thing that just, I don't like to say injury prone, but it's just part of your nature, right? Mm-hmm. You know, you're not trying to say you're weak or anything, but it's just like your extremities clearly, you know, are not, you know, as strong as the next NBA player, right? Considering, you know, the amount of injuries he's seen and experienced. But I just find it like every year there's always an issue with this organization. Every single year. And with this regime, everyone's been getting the blame, from Jimmy Butler to Tobias Harris to Ben Simmons to James Harden to now we get to the final straw, Joel Embiid. And the constant that has always been there since this issue has been Daryl Morey. Daryl Morey, you're the one that built this roster. You're the one that decided that you were going to move hell and high water to get Paul George to Philadelphia. Where's the culpability in that?
I mean, you
and
know,
the fact that like these things are getting leaked out, out of nowhere.
What's crazy
at the worst moment of their season?
The roster is not even that bad, you know, because when we came into the season looking at it, we was like, okay, they got Embiid, they got Tyrese Maxey, who like I said, who had a wonderful season. You get great quality role plays. You got Kelly Oubre. You got the what they call him, the Big Penguin, and Andre Drummond. You know, remember that? And you got Paul George, who could and then
you never recovered.
Kyle Lowry, Caleb Martin,
Celeb Martin. You know
yeah, Celeb.
You got Celeb Martin.
Then Wallace.
Actually,
Yabu Sele, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So and then on top of that, somebody who I've been very high on, you got a diamond in the rough, not really in the rough, but you got Jared McCain, who's been hooping. He's been hooping, you know, right? Doing a little TikTok and everything. He's been hooping. So it's really baffling, and that reminds me of it reminds me a lot of the Lakers when we had Dwight, Nash, Kobe, and Ron. And the reason why that didn't work out because your product is not on the court. So there's a clear reason why the 76ers are 2-11.
I give you more recent. Or more recent. Who forgets LeBron, Anthony Davis, and Russell Westbrook?
Exactly. The product is not on the court.
They're not on the when Bron plays 50 games, AD only plays 40 games, Russ plays 70 something, and then you have a roster full of old guys. It's not gonna work. It's just not.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's not gonna work.
So I mean, it's not a shocker that they 2-11, but like to your point, Ernest, it's like why is all of this coming out now? Because we've been not we, but like Sixer fans been chanting trust the process for 10 years now. It's really crazy. As y'all sitting here talking, I'm sitting here thinking about it. This whole trust the process thing been going on for 10 years. Josh and I went to the draft 10 years when they drafted Embiid. And we still here.
No conference finals appearance.
No conference finals appearance. And then think about the type of talent that they had on the team. You mentioned Jimmy Butler, Ben Simmons, James Harden, Joel Embiid, who's a former MVP, Tyrese Maxey, and now you got Paul George. And now you don't have nothing to show for it. So it's not a shocker, but of course, with what they say, with misery loves company. So now that like things are really, really bad, the Sixers is the worst team in the East right now. Of course, throw out that news. This is more fuel to the fire, and B showing up late for meetings and stuff.
Yeah, it's just listen, like I said, like even Paul George deserves some type of blame. Like at the end of the day, like we understand that you're coming back from injury, but like, bro, they need you now. This is what they brought you here for. You got to be like, all right, until Embiid come back, we'll figure it all out. But give me the damn ball.
You seen his comment on his pod? He was talking about like when he came back and he was playing against the Lakers, and he's very tight with JJ Redick. And he's like, yo, why y'all doubling me for? Like I'm on a minutes restriction, and I'm like, yo, PG, you my guy, but like, bro, like, and this is what I'm talking about, like these players who come from the learning tree, who embodies the Mamba mentality. What are you saying, bro? Like,
no one cares about that. You play.
You play. You on the court, you playing. The defenders are still gonna guard you the same way. You think defenders were letting Kobe score because he was in his final year? Hell no. Like because he fractured his knee, because he had a torn rotator cuff, because he was shooting with his left hand. You think they was just like, oh, Kobe, go get a bucket. So PG, like, I feel you. You're gonna have to own up and see that, like, I hate to excuse my French, but shit around you is crumbling. Mm-hmm. You gotta wake up, bro.
Yeah, like I get it. Max is an all-star, but he's the young guy, right? But you have to be. You're the bridge to all of this.
Yeah,
and he hasn't looked good at all since he's gotten back from injury.
He's one of the oldest players on the team.
Right. Wow, Brooklyn about to win this game. But yeah, it's real crazy, and I just don't like the fact that Daryl Morey is like getting unscathed in this whole situation. Because at the end of the day, like, yeah, okay, the roster's not bad. I'm not saying he did a bad job of building the roster. If you expected everyone to be healthy, it's a damn good team. But at the end of the day, though, why is all this stuff like leaking out? We know you're cool with the media, so it's just like, how is all the blame on everyone else, but you don't hold no culpability whatsoever? I don't believe that. Like, you were a part of this culture. You were the one that moved for heaven and hell to get James Harden to Philly, right? You make that happen because that's your boy. And then when you wink say, "Oh, look, take this contract right now. I got you on the back end because we got Maxey coming up. We got this guy. I want to sign this guy. I want to get PJ Tucker on the squad too. So like, cut your pay, right? Like, so, and I'm gonna get you on the back end. And then when the back end showed up, and albeit like James Harden, you had a terrible playoffs, but we can't renege on your word, right? So like, what type of culture are you like festering over there? And then like now all of a sudden, James Harden's unhappy. Ben Simmons was happy the year before. You know what I'm saying? Like how everyone, like, I get it. Like he didn't shoot the layup, but like people forget. Like Embiid had a terrible game that game. No one said anything about it because they put the blame, even Doc Rivers, they put all the blame on that one shot. And I'm like, hold on.
He made it worse. Yeah. Obviously. Yeah.
So it's just like, then you fire Doc, and that was a whole drama thing between Daryl Morey and Doc. Like that was drama. It was just everything is drama with Daryl Morey. Everything he touches right now is just drama, and it's the fact that
I was saying that they haven't had a quiet off season in like how many years?
So I'm saying it's just like, like they're a circus right now, and he has a hand in that. You know what I'm saying? So it's just I just want to just put it out there, like, it's not all on just Embiid. It's not all on just Paul George and the players and whatnot. That front office got some questions up there too, and for them not to like get anything for this, any smoke for this, it's kind of unfair. Like they deserve some of that.
Yeah, I'm gonna just say this last thing before we move on to the next topic. Jabri, I see you in the chat. Was good. Appreciate you for watching. If I don't know, please follow us on the Swoosh Hoops Podcast on Instagram, YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe. Chop it up with us in the chat. Jabri mentioned PG can't be the main guy, and I agree. I mean, that wasn't the point of him going to Philly. The point was him going to Philly to play with an MVP caliber player and an up and coming player in Tyrese Maxey. So he's probably going to like third wheel it in this case, but PG's not a bad third. PG's not a bad third wheel at all. So it's just unfortunate that, like I said earlier, all this shit is crumbling around him, and he's the only one like on the court because both Embiid and Maxey's been hurt. So yeah, but let's move on.
Well, I'm not worried about that team anymore.
All right.
Eric over there hate watching.
Yo, Knicks,
I'm not hate watching. No, ain't no hate watching.
I won 3 games in a row.
No. Time out. It's not hate watching. It's not hate watching.
Josh, they're the 4th seed, right? They're the 4th seed. What's your record? 8 and what?
8 and 6.
8 and 6. They're the 4th seed. We're 9 and 4, sitting at the 4th seed. We're not the same. We're just not the same. We're not the same.
Eric over there watching the party die. That's
what?
Look, Ernest, let's not
listen.
get.
I'm just here for the downfall. I'm just here for the 6th downfall. So that's all. Started last year.
He see two. Armani. He see 2 6s kissing and hugging on stage. He loved him to death, but
I see the post on Twitter, and shout out to Guru on Twitter. He said every other team in the league got drama except for the Lakers, and I'm
we know what's crazy? Our only drama was actually been positive, like the whole Bronny thing and LeBron, and You know what I'm saying? So like Josh chill.
Yeah, we don't got drama.
Wait.
Nets don't got no drama.
It's like neutral drama, and
it's neutral drama. It's not like
neutral drama.
Sixers drama is crazy.
It's not like turn on ESPN and they the headline. You know what I mean?
Right? Yeah,
So,
yeah.
But yeah.
But moving on. We got to go into another Eastern Conference team. Cleveland Cavaliers. Yes, Reezy, about time. I know it's about time Lakers are not in no drama. Thank God.
Y'all can't see the comments.
You just scroll over. You're probably on private chat. But moving on to an Eastern Conference team, as we just seen, the Cleveland Cavaliers, undefeated, 15-0. Cleveland Cavaliers going into Boston, and to play the defending champion, Boston Celtics. Yeah. And, Cavs went in there and they got handled, right? Throughout pretty much the whole game up until, the Cavs made I think it was like a 16-4 run or something like that.
22-5 run in third.
22-5 run, excuse me. I'm way off. 22-5 run to bring it back to I think it was like 4-2. And they just flamed out. Darius Garland had a tough go at it tonight. I kind of figured he would struggle. The Celtics just have their guard play, obviously, bothers them, especially Garland a lot. But Garland wound up shooting 3 for 21 from the field. You know what I'm saying? And Mitchell had a 35 piece. Evan Mobley stepped up with 22 and 11. But you need more, right? Like, obviously, they didn't have Wade was out. LeVert didn't play. Isaac Okoro didn't play. Max Strus is still out from his injury from the beginning of the year. So, yes, they missed a lot of key players. I mean, when you're starting, when you have to play George Niang 29 minutes, Jerome 28 minutes, Porter 25 minutes, that you're not going to get the results you're looking for against a team like the Celtics, right? Mm-hmm. So the Celtics evidently end the Cavaliers 15-0 winning streak. But Josh, where do you think the Cavs go from here? Obviously, it's an in-season tournament game. It is very still early in the season. It's not like it's make or break their year, but how do you feel about the Cavs going forward after taking this L to the Celtics?
Well, Josh, before you answer that, I would just say, how did they get here? I know Eric spoke briefly about them a couple episodes ago. How did they get here? Because nobody's seen this coming. And just to make this point that the Cavaliers were the last team that we seen with like a hot start like this was the 73-9 Warriors. So you're just thinking back like, damn, like that was so long ago, but it just kind of put the light on the Cavaliers playing so well. So how did it get here, and also where did it go from here?
Well, with teams like this, it's kind of weird, like how the NBA works and professional sports, because you could have a good coach there for a while, which they had with JB Bickerstaff, and it runs its course. And they got a guy who, JB Bickerstaff built those guys up and kind of created the system. But sometimes you need to get you to Steve Kerr to put it all together. And that's what Kenny Atkinson is for them. It was nothing different about this Cavs roster. Same roster from last year. They're missing a couple guys from injuries, so it's probably less. And Kenny Atkinson just has the formula for them offensively, because their defense is the same as last year, like still good, top 10. But their offense is actually just astounding. The ball is humming on that. So I think Kenny just is connecting the dots well. He's having everybody get shine, because we heard rumors about the Garland might axe out if Donovan Mitchell stays and stuff like that. Oh, Mobley, he didn't even want to get drafted here. we heard the crumbling happening, and then
you know what's crazy, Josh? It's funny how we heard all that, and then the one person that's not with the team anymore, you don't hear that stuff anymore. Pretty weird.
Yeah. Remember, they was all trying to say it was him. They was towards the end of last year. They were saying it was a coach.
So that's how coaches really matter, and this is one of those instances when you see where coaches really matter. And even though you can have all the talent, because Cavs really do have a lot of talent on that team, but this is why coaches matter. Because right now, the way they're playing, the coach is unlocking them. And Kenny Atkinson, you know, I'm a Kenny Atkinson advocate because of his days in Brooklyn, but he had D'Lo looking like
he was an all-star.
He's an all-star that year.
He was an all-star.
Look at D'Lo now. So, I'm just saying.
Chill, ice in my veins.
I think they're legit. A lot of people I'm seeing on Twitter thinking that this is fake, but I think they're legit as long as they could
actually run into the Celtics in the playoffs.
They're the only team to give the Celtics some games, though. They gave them some comp in those games. All them other games, it did not.
Well, Indiana did in the conference finals.
But come on,
they
man,
did,
Ernest. Now I'm weak. Josh just gave it to Tony Yayo look.
I'm just saying.
You know how I really feel. The Celtics got an easy ride to win the chip last year, just like the Nuggets did the year before when they had to beat two playing teams to get to the chip. I'm just saying.
This is what you become the number one seed for.
True.
That's all I'm saying. This is what you become the number one seed for.
Touche.
This is what I think. I do think the Cavs are legit, and as long as Donovan Mitchell is healthy and Garland could keep his confidence up, because obviously his confidence was low last year. As long as he keeps his confidence up and Mobley continues to ascend, Jarrett Allen continues to be in that dominant force in the paint, is all for them. So I think they're definitely one of the solid top two team in the East. Sorry,
and on top of that, I mean they're better than the Knicks right now. It is what it is. But also, they're not fully healthy either. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like
their best shooter hasn't played in the game.
Exactly. Like when Max Strus gets on the floor, first of all, they're number one in 3-point attempts and percentage right now, and the number one offense and the number one efficiency. They get Max Strus back. It gets dark fast.
How long did Kenny Atkinson spend in Golden State? He learned some secret sauce over there.
I think it was like 4 seasons, if I'm not mistaken.
He learned some secret sauce over there.
Absolutely, he did. Absolutely, because you got to think about it. It looks like it's an iteration of the Warriors' offense because of so much movement that the Cavs play with.
Mm-hmm.
But also, what the Warriors never had was a guard that can do what. Well, they had one guard that could kind of do what Mitchell does.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan Poole's kind of that ilk. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like Steph is a totally different like profile to me than Donovan Mitchell. So like all he did was kind of look at that and say, wait, like if I had a better Jordan Poole, this is what Donovan Mitchell looks like.
And the Warriors never had to play like Mobley.
And also on top of that, you have two players who are 2-point of attacks, and Garland and Donovan Mitchell. So that just brings me to my next question, because we seen teams like this, like who just got a good I don't want to use the term 3-headed dragon, but in this case, like big 4, I want to say. So we seen it like that with the Celtics when they all made the All-Star team. Y'all see where I'm going with this? With Rondo, KG, Pierce. I'm drawing a blank here, but when the Pistons made the All-Star team, when the Warriors, therefore, made the All-Star team. So
you said the Hawks, right?
Yes, the Hawks as well too. Remember when the Hawks won Player of the Week? I mean, Player of the Month.
That's crazy. That was crazy.
Wow, that was a crazy shot.
Remember that? But do y'all see Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, Jarrett Allen, and Evan Mobley making an All-Star team?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
It won't happen. It won't happen because I think like in the East is just Remember, this year they're doing
it's
East
tough for
and West.
Garland in the East. I'm not gonna lie. Guards wise, I think it might be tougher for Garland.
Okay.
Than other positions.
Yeah, because if you look at it, you'll have obviously Brunson, Mitchell, Ball. Who am I missing? Honestly, you know what the media does. Derek White. They're gonna push him somehow, which is they're gonna do it. They're gonna do it, man. They're just gonna do it.
Currently on the season, Garland is averaging 21 points, shooting 52% from the field, 45% from three, 2 boards, 7 assists, and a steal.
That's all-star numbers. It's all-star numbers. But you got to think, he's going against his own teammate. Like I said, Brunson, Ball, what you call it? Trae Young, he doesn't have a shot.
He a straight
my
wizard.
God.
Man. Just passing the ball.
Yeah.
Ain't Brown? Brown is in the guard category too, right?
Is he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's weird with him.
But then you also have Cade.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like it's gonna be tough for him to
ain't no Piston making an all-star team, man.
Halliburton. Well, the Pistons, listen. I mean, Cade might get that nod, man. He might get Cade. You know what Cade is at right now? I know we're going a little bit off topic, but Cade is reminding me of he's like on that Paolo curve. Where like when Paolo
kind of breakout season.
Yeah, like when Paolo finally broke out and then like the Magic went to the playoffs and all that. Like I think that's where Cade is right now. And they're starting to build a team around him where, okay, this is starting to be something. You know, they don't have to be a sorry ass team every year. So
okay. Okay. And then also, I know when we was giving our picks about MVP, and I still haven't seen them on like nobody's MVP ladder. Nobody talks about Donovan Mitchell.
He should be up there.
You know why?
Why, Josh?
He's not a media darling enough. Let's be real. The media loves Luka Jokic, as they should, but it's to a point. It's either those guys, Tatum, Shea, and everybody else is an afterthought.
Okay.
Like, think about it. Just to Josh's point, think about how it was an uproar when AD was named number 1 in MVP voting 2 weeks ago, last week, whatever it was, 2 weeks ago. I'm just like, damn, like it's just like he's been balling, cool, like let him have that. But everybody tripping, like, oh, Jokic is doing this person. It's like, we get it. Jokic is gonna be, we get it. Yes, we understand. But like, there's a such thing as voter fatigue.
Don't get me.
There is.
Don't get me started on Jokic, though.
Huh?
You said I don't want to get deterred. I don't want to go to another topic.
No, just say it. Just say it. It's cool.
I love Jokic. I'm a Jokic advocate, but isn't it funny that when Russ was averaging a triple-double for 3-4 years, it was like, nah, that's not an MVP. But Jokic could do it. And they just like, oh, come on, he just keep averaging a triple-double. It's amazing. And it's like,
you know, somebody said,
guard do that.
Somebody said that this was the greatest triple-doubles we've ever seen. I said, hold on. This is a media person. Then this media person said he's averaging more points than Shaq ever did in his career this year. He's having more assists than Just Kid ever did in his career right now. So he's clear-cut MVP. And I'm like, well, if Russell Westbrook did that for like 4 straight seasons,
and they was just like, nah, it doesn't matter.
He's stat padding. What?
Yes, that's the rebuttal: stat padding and also efficiency. Those are the two things
when he literally had to do it to win.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same way Jokic had to do it to win.
Put the team on the back. Yeah,
I don't know, and you know, I'm not, like I said, I love Jokic, but I just find it funny how we make the excuses when we have a literal center doing it. It's easy for him to do it as a center than a 6'3" guard doing it 4 years in a row. So,
yeah.
But you know, like that could go into that conversation. He's not a media darling, just like Donovan Mitchell. People like him, but it's not like they love him like they do Jokic.
Mm-hmm.
And plus, I don't know why they love Jokic so much and Luka, but it's pretty interesting.
Hey, Anyway, yes, it's very interesting.
I wonder. What do you think?
Listen. Listen.
I don't know.
Why? Listen. They gotta find they gotta find the one. I'm just they gotta find the one.
Great players. They're great players, but
yeah. Well, we know what it is.
They love international players, man. They don't love their own kind.
But yeah, it's just wild to see the reactions. I was just like, yo, like AD's been playing the best basketball in the league at this point in time. He's been the best defender and he's been the best offensive player right now.
Bro,
and everyone was just like, nah. And they're winning.
They didn't put KD on the MVP stuff until he got hurt.
Until he got hurt. Like, what?
Yeah.
I see the game y'all doing here.
Yeah.
So it's all if the media like you or not. Donovan Mitchell, like I brought it up a couple years ago with Donovan Mitchell when he first got to the Cavs, and the Cavs started off to a hot start. They was like 2 in the East, and it was like, yo, and I know it's different because I think I talked to you about it, Armani, with I was like, yo, Derrick Rose, if people really have voters fatigue, Derrick Rose won MVP over Braun and with the Bulls, and it was averaging the same points as Donovan Mitchell. Mm-hmm. The same, like almost the same stats across the board. Mm-hmm. Why is Donovan Mitchell never mentioned in MVP talks then?
Mm-hmm.
Never.
Yeah.
So
you want to hear a funny quick tidbit? They voted Marc Gasol all defense team 3rd. LeBron James was all defense first team, and Marc Gasol got defensive player of the year. Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense at all. Doesn't make sense. But moving on. So we spoke on, since we were talking about the Cavs and stuff. We got a little sidetracked, but we're talking about the Cavs and the in-season tournament. Obviously, a week had just went by of the IST. Obviously.
NBA Cup.
Chill, yes, you can't call it that no more. Adam Silver's gonna come get you, man.
You're right. My bad, Adam. It is the Emirates NBA Cup in season tournament.
Right.
But yeah, it's a week has just been passed. Obviously, we have active games tonight. Right now the Nets.
They just beat the Hornets.
They just beat the Hornets. I don't know about that tank job happening down there in Brooklyn, but Eric, so give me your take on the first week of just how you felt about the IST game. Sorry, Adam. So that's what I'm calling it, the IST. The IST games. It's just too long to say how you feel about the Emirates NBA Cup in-season tournament. And what are your thoughts on the games, the court, and everything, the aesthetic of the presentation of everything?
I mean, I like the different wrinkle of it since last year. It's kind of like added a new spectrum to the season, because now it spotlights on teams who rarely get to play like in a tournament or playoff setting. It gives them that feel of being in a single playoff atmosphere. Look at example, the Indiana Pacers. They haven't made the playoffs in how many years? In 3-4 years. Last year they used the NBA Cup tournament to basically fuel their run to the playoffs, especially during the group play, and especially during the quarterfinal game against the Celtics at home. It was like the big crowd playoff type atmosphere in Indiana, kind of spurred the team to a deep playoff run, and also it spotlighted one of their franchise players in Tyrese Halliburton. So you could have one of the teams who basically are not contenders of playoff contenders, but still they get the feel the atmosphere of a playoff setting. So so I like the aspect of that. The only issue is that I get started in November, but if they could push it back to like January, because that's where the dog days of the NBA season that's where the dog days of the NBA season begin. So like just to add a little extra oomph for the new year, just to like change up a little bit, going to
They should
Super Bowl
just
Sunday.
they should
And
just
then
start it on
trade.
Christmas Day. Make the NBA
Yeah.
Cup opener on Christmas Day.
Yeah, you could do that.
I'm giving y'all free sauce. That's crazy, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Like Christmas Day, it's the marquee matchups every year. So just do the marquee matchups. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, keeping them within the conferences. You know, the IST is in the conference play, but like we would love to see, obviously, Lakers, Warriors, Lakers, Suns, OKC, Dallas. Dallas or Denver, Minnesota, New York, Philly, New York, Boston. You know what I'm saying? Like it'll be fun to see that, and you kick off the tournament from Christmas Day to Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King is the final, because you have Martin Luther King is a big day for the NBA as it is. Like so, just have from Christmas Day to Martin Luther King Day, the IST tournament, and it ends. The championship game is on Martin Luther King Day, and the kickoff is Christmas Day. Just saying.
I like that.
I agree.
Yeah, because
I like that.
that's
Also
my fault. But that's the proper. That's actually the most dead time.
Yeah,
true.
Not the start of the season. It's actually after Christmas, and
that's the dog days of the NBA. Yeah,
and what they tried to do, what they're trying to do now with it is, if you look at it, it's the trade deadline. They use that to keep the garner the interest and keep the engagement going. They use the trade deadline and all this other stuff happening as like to keep your like eyes on the game. But it's like, yo, that's kind of like off the court stuff. I want to see the games.
Right. And I never understood. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna let you go, Eric. I never understood how the dog day or one of the dog times of the NBA season is already a month into the season, because that was the big point of them making the NBA Cup in November. I'm just like, so you mean to tell me the season is not even a full month and you're already tired of it? Like, I get it. The NBA is competing against football.
That's what I'm about to say. The real excuse is they're competing against the NFL. That's the real excuse, because
and NFL took Christmas.
Right. And yeah, NFL just took Christmas, bro. Beyonce performing. Yeah, they just told the NBA, we don't care about nothing what you got going on at all. So like to your point, Eric, I agree with you. I think it should be pushed back. I just think it should start on Christmas Day and end on Martin Luther King Day. Just saying.
And also, let's not forget, they got the NFL playoffs in January. So, do they want to compete with that on the Sunday games or Saturday games?
But you do, because there's less games, though.
It's less games. There's only 1 to 2 games each Sunday for the playoffs. So
right,
yeah. But also just to continue, on the courts, on the aspect of the courts, I always been the advocate of they should have these courts for the playoffs, because it gives off that the feeling of, okay, we're in a playoff setting, but in the regular season. But I like the courts I like these courts for the playoffs. It's like have something different. You know what I'm saying? It's like something meaningful. So they know that, okay, it's the playoffs. I remember they had the NBA playoff logo used to be on there on the floors during the playoff time in the NBA finals, but it'll be something different. But knowing that, okay, this is the time to compete for the championship. But as far as the games, it's been kind of there's been several intriguing games that's been going on through the Cup series. The Hawks, they're undefeated in the group play, which beat the Celtics last Tuesday. You had the Magic starting off 2-0, Knicks starting off 2-0. the Warriors, they showed out against the Dallas Mavericks last Tuesday, especially when Steph Curry ended the game on a 12-1 to win that game last week. Very intriguing stuff that's happening. We still got more cup games going on Friday. Also, you got to keep an eye on the point differential, because that's going to come into play when you have teams that are trying to win their groups and also trying to get that last wild card spot. So teams who are like who are on that cusp of getting eliminated and trying to stay in the cup race. Like what happened last year, we had several teams in the East trying to run up the score to get up their point differential to get the last wild card spot. So, and there's a lot of bickering and a lot of complaining about that. But then again, it's like you compete for the cup, you got to play.
Remember DeMar DeRozan got into it, and like Jason Tatum was like, "Yeah, it's kind of wacky." Like, bro, just shut up.
Yeah,
it's part of the game, man.
It's part of the game.
Like, stop me then. Stop me. Like,
I'm not gonna lie, and I usually don't try to go on players for this, but it's like they complain about so much just to not play. Bro, play until the clock is done.
Exactly.
What are you mad they still scoring?
Somebody from the NBA took him out. Somebody from the NBA took him out.
You know what? I was gonna take him off the screen, but I'm leaving that.
Yeah, you gotta leave it right there. You gotta leave that.
Oh wow.
He looks so upset. But no, like he's right though. Like when DeMar like was upset about it, I'm like, wait, what are you mad about, bro? Like, oh, you're back.
Oh, you're back.
but no, Josh, you're 100% right though. Like why are you upset that the objective of the game is to what? Put the ball in the basket, and you're mad because they keep doing it? I'm sorry. You want to give up early? Like that's a quitter's mentality. I'm sorry.
Right.
I don't get it.
That's something that needs to be talked about with Adam Silver and the reason why ratings are down, and we're gonna have to have a little discussion about Adam Silver. And also, I'm starting to have a bone to pick with Adam Silver. Like, what's really good with this investigation? This nonsense and BS. Anyway,
see, you know what's crazy? You see, this is why what pisses me off about CAA and the Knicks fan base and the Knicks organization and everything.
Listen, we have done nothing.
Hold on.
Just because my guy Leon Rose can move his way through this new CBA,
if this was Rich Paul,
and Rob Pelinka's like
this was Rich
and getting
Paul,
the side eyes from JJ Redick, like what are we doing here?
If this was Rich Paul, Rob Pelinka clutching the Lakers, we would have been fine. Draft picks would have been taken away. All types of stuff. All types of conspiracies about how LeBron is running the league and the GM and all types of stuff. But no, when the Knicks do it,
we was docked a second round pick.
Y'all gave the Stars daddy a position without the formal process, and that's okay. Listen, I'm all for nepotism. Clearly, we're dealing with it over here. I'm all for nepotism.
Boys and Girls Club.
But don't act as if like what is this about?
This
like
we
know what this is about.
Down. This is why the ratings are down, because of y'all two franchises. This is what's in the news cycle, and they talk about ratings down because of this. I'm not gonna lie. Armani and Eric,
you think he blames our franchises, but who wants to talk about a losing ass team? No one wants to talk about the Nets.
I don't.
In New York. New York.
You see,
they're in New York, bro. Come on, man.
I'm trying to get the got you moment, but I don't want. I want them to talk basketball. Listen, I want to really talk about this rating topic because this is where they losing me. And I always been saying it. We always been saying it on this pod. Ratings are down. And I already told y'all one of my points. But this is why the ratings are down. Because you've been telling people for years. It's been about 6 to 8 years. We heard in NBA media, none of the season matters until April. We've been hearing that nonstop from Shaq, from Charles Barkley, from Kenny Smith, from Stephen A. We've been hearing it from every media personality. It doesn't matter until April. And then now you surprised that people are like, oh, okay. I guess it don't matter till April. And then you're talking about, oh, the ratings are down. Like, we need to get it up. And we can't get interested again because you've been telling us this for 8 years. That this doesn't matter.
Like, literally marquee matchups, right? Of, legends going against each other. And if one legend loses, it's the regular season. Like, oh, huh?
And then there's other layers of it. There's other small layers of it. And I really think he gets away with it. Pop. Hope again, well, Pop. But Pop really started a real layer in this. Back when it was the Spurs versus the Heat. He benched them. He benched Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, Ginobili, all them guys for a big marquee game. And everybody's like, oh, it's Pop. It's whatever. And then he kept doing it. He's like, oh, y'all let me get away with it? Kept doing it for
2 more for you.
They was like, oh, it's a competitive advantage. It's good. He's messing with their psyche. And it's bad for the game. It's bad for the game. Mm-hmm. He started that, and in the whole league, it's a copycat league. Once one person do it, another person will do it. Mm-hmm. And everybody in the league started doing it because that wasn't a norm. That wasn't a norm before Pop did it.
No.
Mm-hmm. And that's why I feel like stuff like that, like all the little trickles of why people don't care no more is by these little things, the media, Pop starting that. And then players just not caring no more. Because you know why? Because the franchises are telling them, man, you can take days off.
Mm-hmm.
When the rest is supposed to help them, supposedly, when we have more injuries than ever before, the rest is supposed to help them. It's making them more injured.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're not practicing.
They're not. Some of the top guys is injured too.
All the time. And the league was never like that before. It was never like that before. So that is another reason why the product kind of look bad now, because the top guys are not playing, messing with the ratings. Another factor, another trickle in the whole little thing. Like, it's just so much that they allowed, and you don't see from other sports. Like, we talked about this. We don't see baseball media talk bad about baseball, saying, oh, this doesn't matter until October.
Yeah.
You don't see NFL guys talk down and be like, oh, the regular season don't matter, man. No. So that's why I really feel like they have to look themselves in the mirror and stop blaming other people.
No, you spitting facts. And then on top of that, like, this is where the 3-point barrage comes in.
I was right with you. Yep.
Right? Like, the style of play and how the game is. Everyone's so focused on analytics and spacing, and like we forget one our best scores that we've ever seen was averaging 30 plus playing in a box. You know what I'm saying? Like, the way the game is tailored now, it's just
taking long twos.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So the style of play goes into it. And then also, too, man, it's hard as hell to catch games when you have to have all these different streaming services to watch your favorite team.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, not everyone's making all this money where they could just have cable, have 5 to 10 streaming services plus NBA League Pass, and come on.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's a real issue they have to figure out and fix. As simple as that.
Yeah.
And like you said, with the threes, and that's another thing. NBA teams, every team used to have different identities, and it's like everybody
want to be the Warriors.
Yeah, everybody want to be the Warriors, and it's like, yo, your team doesn't have the facilities for that, big fella. You cannot. You have certain teams, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's certain teams, like, why are you shooting so much threes? Y'all not good 3-point shooters.
Yeah.
Choose a different identity. It was like the Memphis Grizzlies had an identity, grit and grind.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Lakers had an identity, Showtime
or Triangle.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. The
Pistons, like yeah.
So yeah, glad that we moved on to this topic. Segue perfectly to this topic, and the 3-point barrage, as Josh and Aaron was talking about. So like this all started from the Warriors. The Warriors, they brought this. I'm not gonna say they brought it to the game, but they revolutionized it. Because remember back in the days, the 3-point shot wasn't shooting threes. They had to move it closer just for get players to shoot it more.
Remember they moved it when they moved it closer when Jordan came back after retirement, I believe.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. So, the Warriors, they go on this whole 3-point barrage. But the thing is, and I'm always say this, what made the Warriors very lethal was that they were able to play a motion offense. Their off-ball movement was able to create opportunities so that we can get threes. Now what we're seeing is P&R action. You drop coverage, I'm shooting the 3. Or you help out, you hedge too hard, I'm kicking into the corner for 3. That's what we're seeing it now. And a team that it helped them get to a certain part in the season, in the playoffs, it actually shot them in the foot when it came crunch time. And I'm talking about the Houston Rockets of the 2017-2018 season, when they ran up against the Warriors in the conference finals, and they missed 27 straight threes, if I'm not mistaken.
27
straight.
We're all watching the game as NBA fans, just like, well, why you keep shooting those threes if you're not gonna make it? And it wasn't like threes that they were open. It was like Eric Gordon dribble, like trying to break his man down, shooting a 3 in a defender's face. And it's like, that's not gonna win the game. So now, Josh, to your point, the monkey see, monkey do league. You have the Boston Celtics, who just came off winning a championship, and the league is paying attention to what they did opening night. They almost broke the record for most threes in the game. And like in the last 4 or 5 minutes of that game, the Celtics was out trying to break that record, and every single possession they had was a 3, and they missed. So the rest of the league is looking at that and thinking, okay, maybe we could copy off of that. Maybe we could play off of that. But the issue is these teams don't have that personnel to do that. The Celtics are built to do that. Look at all the guys on the Celtics. All of them can shoot. They don't put no player besides Luke Cornett. That's probably the only player that I can think of on that Celtics team in the rotation that they play that cannot shoot. Celtic fans, if y'all know he can shoot, I might be wrong, but just let me know.
No, he's one of the top shooters on their roster.
There you go. Everybody else, right? Every other team just got teams jacking up. And even like my lovely Lakers, we were talking about trying to shoot more threes. You look at AD. AD is shooting more threes this year.
Yeah.
So I just think it's a pro and a con for the league, and it's also another point to why viewership is down. You look at it. Yes, it does give versatility to some players, because you're like, you got a 7-foot dude on the court. 7 foot is back in the day when I was growing up watching basketball. They wasn't known for shooting threes. They was known for getting rebounds, blocking shots, and all that stuff. There you got 7 footers sitting behind the line. Wemby had 50 points last week off of 8 threes.
He shot 16 of them.
He shot 16 and made 8 threes.
He was 7'4".
His shot diet is like cat, man.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
And that goes back to, yes, the versatility is cool, but then you hate to see it when you have these 7-foot dudes. You got these little small fries guarding them, and they standing behind the 3-point line.
Trying to shoot over them.
Right. Get to the basket. But I will say though, it does create more options in the paint.
But real quick though, Armani, it's also causing more possessions, and more possessions cost injury, because what's happening is the game is going back so fast. You as just as your anatomy, you're moving one way, all right, cool, getting rebound, turning the other way. Like it's just everything's happening so quickly, and it's just possession after possession after. So everything you're up in possessions, you're up in number of shots. You know, the game is at a faster pace. So this is why then you're not practicing enough to do these in-game stuff. You're practicing regular stuff, so your body's not used to the torque and all the stuff that's like natural movement. So this is how you get injured during the game.
And then
on top of that, and also you're not playing enough preseason games.
Yeah, that too.
You're not playing enough preseason games just to ramp up because you don't like you go for training camp. And also, they tell you, you're playing less preseason games, so we can preserve your health. And then once it gets to the regular season, they want you to ramp up 100, go from 0 to 100, just like that. And you see why these superstars are getting injured left and right.
And I also think we've been seeing a lot more triple doubles. Like we see triple doubles every day. Like growing up, watching basketball, like 2000s and stuff like that. I can't think of many guys who was getting triple doubles like that. Like every day, Jokic got a triple double, Russ got a triple double, Shea got a triple double.
Yeah. Yo, speaking of LeBron, Russell Westbrook just finished with a triple double today.
Triple double, right? So my point is because you're shooting 3,
12, 14, and 10 against the
You're shooting 3 to earn this point, more possessions. You're shooting 3. You're missing shots, longer rebounds. So guards have chances to get the rebound. And it just creates like a faster offense. So that equates to it.
Ain't it funny though that remember, how I want to say this generation, Gen Z watchers of basketball are those are the people that's younger than us, right? They Gen Z? Yeah, Gen Z.
I don't even know how that whatever.
The Gen Z version of basketball, right? You know how they come at old school people like, oh yeah, these stats fake. I don't like those stats. Like when Oscar Robertson averaged a triple double and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. The NBA is going back. History repeats itself. Isn't that crazy? It's going back into that session. The reason why Oscar Robertson averaged a triple double, will average 50. The stats was crazy that whole year or that time period of like 3-4 years. Is because of the possessions. The game was so fast, so everybody's going back and forth. And now look at us. We're here. And this is what the Gen Z basketball community didn't. They was just like, we don't believe that. And look, we're here. And now it looks disgusting. What's
crazy is Ant-Man came out with a quote the other day, and he was asked about how many 3-point shots he's been taking. And he's like, well, they keep going under, so I'm gonna let that bleep fly, And the only thing is, it's like, that's cool that they're going under, but that doesn't mean you should shoot the 3 every time. Like I understand, like you're confident in your shot, cool, I get that, right? Like you're Ant-Man, if you're open, take it. But like you're also like making it easier to defend because like this is why if they're going under, you should be attacking, getting downhill, pull up, jump shot, mid range. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's like there's other ways to score the basketball, and at the very least, be more impactful with your game than just like, all right, I'm just gonna take what the defense gives me. Like I understand that concept, but it's like you could probably do a lot more.
And that was my issue with Tatum. Josh and I, we talk about this all the time. But like I remember when Tatum was like, and someone say, oh, he still is. I remember when Tatum was a 3-level scorer, can score in the paint, can score in the mid-range, and can score behind the 3-point line. Now, and it doesn't help his case because this is how the Celtics offense is now. But Tatum is going to chuck them threes. He's going to shoot them. I remember the days when he used to, with the sick handle, and it's crazy. I'm saying remember the days like it was so long ago. But like when Tatum had the sick handle, get down to the mid-range game and shoot it. And I felt the same way about Ant-Man too. I'm like, I like Ant-Man because, of course, Ant-Man can fly through the air, his personality, and plus like his mid-range and stuff like that. But now, the game 1 of the season, Ant-Man shot mad threes. Ant-Man had 6 threes. Yeah, 6 threes against the Lakers. So my question is to the panel is, how do we fix it? Oh, well, but how do you fix that?
There is none because this is where the NBA is going. When you look at the offenses that's being ran, it's a lot of high pick and rolls. A lot of guys are not hedging. A lot of guys are not up on the screens. You know, the defense is mostly playing drop or they're switching. So it's that's just how the game is being played right now. Unless like you get a mirage of guys coming in, and you might have some who are just like mid-range assassins. But we don't see that anymore because these guys are being trained from young, and they're shooting Steph Curry shots.
And the rules of today are not allowing defenses to play back like it was back in the 90s, in the early 2000s, in the 80s.
I mean, well, I think that's a little overrated, like their defenses back then, because like it's like, all right, like okay, you can't clothesline somebody going to the rim. Like who wants to see that?
No, I'm talking about the hand checking. I'm talking about hand checking.
At this point, why not?
Once
That's
they
what Joe
eliminated
Mazzulla
hand
said. There should
checking,
be
that
more
was
fights.
Yeah.
And I think he's right. There should be more fights in the league. Why every other league?
Well,
why every other league could do that?
But also,
benches.
But also, if you remember, late last year, they referees starting to like implement not calling as many fouls, and the game got a little bit more physical. If you remember, late last year going to the playoffs,
yeah, Braun smoked the layup.
That's the thing with the refs, and that's another problem with the NBA. It's just like
they're just way too inconsistent.
They will do something for 2 months, and after that, they forget about it. Have y'all noticed what happened to transition fouls?
Mm-hmm.
No, just take fouls.
It stopped happening.
They stopped that.
Yeah, they stopped giving people the free throws for I'm like, I thought that was a whole new rule. They said they was.
Well, no. The rule is still there. What it is though? Remember, it's you got a transition take foul, right? And then you got the clear path. Like so, now it's two different iterations of the foul, and on top of that, like a lot of guys like they don't do it. Like you don't see a lot of players doing it now. Like it's just because the rule is in place. Games.
As soon as they get the board, that's the transition. You foul them. They just be like, all right, out of bounds. So I mean, we getting off topic.
Dalton Connect, Dalton Connect is. But yeah, now you're right. It's just weird. It's all
There's
weird.
There's one positive about the threes though. The threes barrage, Armani. I was listening to, I believe, Kevin O'Connor, and he said the one positive that we kind of don't realize in the 3-point barrage where all this is happening is we're getting more dunks in the game. And I was like, that's interesting. I didn't really think about that. But, since a lot of the long rebounds is more fast breaks, so that kind of makes sense. So,
like I said, even in PNR situations, if you look at the team like the Dallas Mavericks, right? And I said this last year, who their one of their points of emphasis was the lob. So obviously, if you're running the screen with a PNR with Luka, and you got let's say Gafford or Lively running down, it's like you have to give up something. You're gonna give up something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You either give up a Luka step back 3 or Luka lob to Gafford or Lively. So I could see that more dunks and stuff like that. Yeah, I could see that. I mean,
think about it: long shots, long rebounds, outlet passes. Yeah. Fast breaks, people not getting back. Like it's just
and then more spacing.
It's just more spacing. So there's more open, there's more running lanes. So again, like the 3-point shot has opened up all of that stuff.
And also you got the 5-out offense, which allows them more spacing and more wide open threes.
Everybody wants to stretch big. You know what I'm saying? It's just one of those things now. It's just one of those things.
This is what it came to. So
the Utah Jazz and the leaders of the Cooper Flag tank.
Everybody who's listening, just listen right here. Y'all have a kid, we gotta train them how to play inside, man. We gonna start the movement back up. We gonna train them how to play inside. All right? Yeah. Everybody in the chat, Breezy, Christian, you heard? Bree. Just remember that when y'all get a seed, you heard?
Right. Appreciate y'all watching the show.
Yeah, for real.
Bringing the post-ups back, man.
Right. Appreciate you guys for commenting in the chat. Appreciate you, chat. Just continue to support us, man. Like and subscribe. All that good stuff. and watch the games. Watch the games. I know you got to spend money to do it. I understand, you know what I'm saying, but just watch the games.
Go to the games. And also, go to the games.
Yeah, go to the games. You know what I'm saying? If you can't watch, listen, you might as well go because you're spending the same amount of money that you're watching it at home. So you might as well just go. You know
if somebody give you free tickets, go to the game, man. Even if it's a team you don't like, go to the game. If you sit in the nosebleeds, just go to the game, man. Have an experience. It's all about the experience, man. At the end of the day.
Yeah, listen. Look,
I mean, I
would love to. Listen, I would love to pay $5 to go to a Clipper
I was in outer space.
I would love to pay. I would love to pay $5, or it probably costs a hot dog to get into it dome to watch the Clippers to hate watch.
You think so?
That's some good money. Some good money spent. Yeah, tickets be like $5-10 still. But listen, it's still the Clippers.
Crazy, man.
It's still the Clippers.
That's wild, man. But yeah, enjoy the game. However you gotta watch it, do what you can.
Christian said he almost did the Everett commercial. Come on, man. Don't sit on your ass all day. Get up inside. Get a job right now. Come to school.
Yo, why was he so mad though, bro?
I had me feel like, damn, I am failure? Yeah.
Right. But yeah, do what you gotta do. Stream East is your friend. You know what I'm saying?
No. You see, that's what I was about to bring it up. Adam Silver. I know a lot of people gonna hate me. You gonna have to get the FBI to shut down. You gonna have to get the FBI to shut down Stream East and Method streams, man. If you want them ratings to go up, you're gonna need them to shut them down.
You said
Adam Silver. That's your real problem. Method streams and streams.
You sit in the house watching TV, watching the games passing by. When you be in the game, you know when you're in the game.
Right, go to the game.
Go to the game. It's easy.
Right. Now, 1-800.
No, right here, right now. Call this number right here, right now.
Right now. 1-800. Go to the game. Why are you making it complicated? It's easy.
Yo, right. But y'all be good, man. Thank you for tuning in. Peace and love.
Thank you.
Take care of yourselves and take care of your loved ones, and love basketball.
Don't watch Stream East.